Hi, this is Sean Sheffey, and we're gonna watch my Soldier Story video part, and we're gonna tell some stories behind the tricks. The Einstein t-shirt, I think I got it from a bookstore in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yeah.
I was staying there for a little bit. So I was into collecting little t-shirts and stuff to skate in and to, have that artsy type of vibe, I also got that from my mentors and like heroes like Gonzalez, Naudis, it would like come across to me, hey, that's a way to present your type of style. I really like this one's schoolyard down in Ocean Beach in San Diego. The ollie board slide to backside melancholy off was really fun and awesome. To actually reach back and grab it and have to pull off was pretty cool because I didn't think I would have been able to ollie to fakie back off of that bar. So that was really a groundbreaker because I had to drop barriers and get uncool, but get really cool because then I got to release some powerful energy and get a response, and it was well liked,
Tell me about the fakie ollie over the table.
Okay, we were heading towards Santa Barbara, heading north from San Diego to meet up with Kit Erickson at the time.
Who took you to all these spots?
Mike Tranowski. We stopped by a schoolyard called Gardenia. It's up in the LA area. Day One Song skated it in Love Child. That's a really nice hit. Mike Valley also skated it. We start skating it and immediately I got the backside 180 it, And then Mike was like, what else do you feel you can do here? And I was like, I'm not too sure. And I was pretty hip on half cabs at the time. So I half cabbed it. And then that shifty was so-so. I used them for show, but I wouldn't really use them because I was already, again, kind of over it. But I was like, I got one that's pretty rad. And I booked it and twisted but I went to fake out on that one, the half cab, and I threw it back and it worked, So we used it. It was like the first landing, first print, and Mike was like, yeah. And at that time, dealing with someone that was so influential and that had already worked with so many rad skaters, anything he said was good, you took it. You jumped on it and you're like, wow, okay, thank you. I was still very young. I was 17, so I was really influenced by working with Mike Tranowski,
Where'd you see it the first time? Did you at a premiere or did they show it to you privately?
At the San Diego trade show.
Really?
We had a booth. Ron Allen and the Life Skateboard team and Tony Magnuson's, we actually had a booth and it was playing. When I got there, it was already a packed thing, so I was just like, oh my, yeah. And he showed me the cover. I didn't think I knew the importance of having the last part was at that time, and he just told me, hold on, it's gonna blow up, and everybody was super stoked. I remember being next to Bill Weiss there, and Bill was pumped. We had a history, and it was just really cool, and his knowledge was insane. So the Balboa Park kink rail, he said to me and Sal, Mike did, what do you think about something like this? And I'm thinking no way. But that's my boss at the same time, and I'm thinking, shit, I've come this far. I'm getting ready to get my apartment and move my family out here. It's I can't turn back. I need this. I know this is where the bucks is, And I was I didn't know how to skate something like this, but I was coming off a period where I was doing a lot of flat rails, pretty high up, so I felt pretty steady. If I ollie and get on it and ride it out, stuff maybe Frankie Hill did, it wasn't that far out of the question, but it looked gnarly. So I said, yeah, and Sal answered too, yeah. So we got to skate another couple weeks, and we went through all of that stuff, the trip through LA and Santa Barbara, and we're heading back, and I think the next night he's we're going back to that rail. We went there at night, and I got thrown around, and I knocked the wind out of me on one. He's let's get it together, we're coming back in the morning, and we're just no way, dude. So I could barely even move. The side of my ribs, it wasn't bruised, but it was like a welt. We were staying at the 8th Street house, they called it, so anyone who comes in town could stay there that skated for Planet Earth, 8th Street, Life Skateboards. Mike was there at 7:30 picked me and Sal up and we drove to Balboa Park. And I got a coffee. I rarely drink coffee, but kind of eased the pain. I woke up and I still had that raw mentality that I was so frustrated. Like, I'm going there to win today. And right off the bat, it was daytime, clear, I could see. And I started maneuvering like how to get on it. Because one time I went again haywire. I ollied flat and got on it and it whipped me. But this time I got to my feet. And then Sal started skating with me and I was like, that's not gonna work. So I worked out a method, ollie from the side, keep your board slid. So when I went through the kink, I flushed over. I went level. It shot me through. Perfect. And I was like, that's the way to do it. Sal came kind of close, what got me antsy, because I was like, oh shit, he's gonna get it. I felt the urgency that if I don't concentrate, I'm gonna lose the opportunity to get this in my video. And right when I landed it, Mike said, oh, that's it, we're done. We got the clip and that was history on that one.
This second song is Ron Allen's band, right?
Yeah.
And then who picked the Western song and then who picked Ron Allen's?
I'm not sure. I heard that Danny Way was in the editing room with Mike through this and he was going through some picks and likes, so it could have been Danny's and Mike's idea. I like to throw any of those guys in there for the pick of that. Because that's a pretty like responsible song, you know, Clint Eastwood.
Picnic table, the back lip and the back tail at Jerbeck.
We were eating, me, Sal, and Mike, and we were talking about, do you have any ideas of where you want to skate? And I was thinking of picnic tables once again. And I was like, man, I'm just been out in the Midwest in Grand Rapids and I've just been ollieing off the smallest bumps and just really high, you know, ollie grabs and ollie method grabs. And I was like, man, if there's a bump to like picnic table, I would love to skate that. And it was like, yeah, we have a bump. We don't really skate the picnic table. It's a high picnic table. I was like, man, I really like to check it out. I have a couple ideas, you know, back tail, back lip, and they were like, whoa, those would be rad, you know, and everybody got there and they got going. I think John Reese got the nose grind. Sal did frontside 50-50, the pop shove it out, frontside pop shove it out, which still to this day were super rad. That nose grind was ahead of his time. I forget, did Kean do anything on that? Yeah, he did frontside 360s off of that, which was really amazing. Just ahead of his time. The back tail was kind of like Trinaski's and Sturt's brainchild. I think I skated that thing anywhere from 1 to over 150, like 300 tries. I would have gave up if I didn't have that next level, like assistance from Mike and like Denster. They stuck with me. It took like 3 days. He's like, we can't stop, Sean. You're so close. Every day we had started it, I was so sore, I could barely stand. And Mike's like, are you ready? And like, your board's coming out. You gotta feed your kid. You gotta get Pampers. You gotta pay rent. And I was like, yes, I do. I need to do these things. It happened, like it finally happened. And I think that's when they came to me and they were like, Chef, yes, you know, I had the flexibility and the agility to make it through the tackles and the slams and bails to get through it, you know. It was like 80, 90 degrees, just no water, just conditions were insane. But it was one of those experiences that stuck with me to this day. So that video part stands out a lot. And I mean, it's something that I was very fortunate to do it, you know.
Shef.